tears, we expect a slight vaginal tear. Now she already prepared specula to check for cervical lesions and the instruments to check for the cervix and the vagina. And also we have sutures prepared. So what we can now see here is that the patient is already bleeding rather severely, and that it's obviously coming from the uterus. I spread the vulva a little bit and I can see the blood coming from the uterus most probably. And the first thing we do is we try to do a curettage. So what I can do in this simulation, I can do a speculum, and now I need somebody to hold it here, please. And you can already see here the cervical os widely opened, as it looks in a woman that has just delivered. And you can take the cervical os with a clamp, and you can take it out, please. Just put it here. Yeah. You can take a second clamp to hold it, and then, like in a typical obstetric situations, and now you can easily proceed to do a curettage, and you can remove the placental residuals from the uterus easily. After doing the curettage, you can easily see that we found the placental residuals. We retrieve them from the uterine cavity, and we can check if everything is complete. It's 3 little residuals missing. So simulated in this situation is a bleeding from a vaginal tear at different levels. What you can also simulate here is a large vaginal tear on the right side, and you can train suturing and covering it. You get a very realistic picture of a bleeding from lateral vaginal bleeding from lateral vaginal wall. And of course, you can do a speculum now, and you can also do is you can suture here. Some assistance, please. Simulate. Suture of a vaginal tear. Very easily. It's almost like in reality. Very realistic. Thank you. After suturing that, we find that the patient is still bleeding from the uterus. Now you see that the patient is still bleeding from the uterine cavity. It takes a while until the blood is coming. Please switch it on. And we are very concerned because the uterus is getting softer and softer, and if you for example, if you put pressure on the uterus, you can see that more and more blood is coming out of the uterus. And so we did a curettage, and the patient had Pitocin. So now we switch over to prostaglandins to get the uterus contract better. And please stop the bleeding a little bit. But unfortunately, this doesn't help in this situation. So we decide to do another speculum and to do uterine packing. So please hold this. And I hold that. Now what you can do, of course, you can do a classic packing, where you can put this gauze into the uterus and into the vagina to put some pressure in the uterine cavity. And then in addition, you can hold the uterus from there and get the bleeding stop. So that is the easiest way. If it's still bleeding, of course you need to switch to another form of packing. And we have two ways to do a packing. One is that you take the backup balloon, and of course the whole system can easily be used to train the insert of a backup balloon and fill it completely, or you can use Celox. Celox, which is a chitosan covered gauze 3 meters long that you can put into the uterus, and it's hemostatic. And it's widely used in obstetrics nowadays to control vaginal bleeding, at least in Germany. What I like most about the model is that you can also train situations that are hard to train actually. For example, check for cervical tears. So you have a cervix that looks very realistic, like a cervix of a woman who has delivered just recently, very thin, and you can check for tears. And you can put that on, then you go around the cervix step by step, and you check for integrity of the cervical os in a circular way. You can go around the cervix step by step and check integrity. And there's no model I know of that is suitable for training that situation. That is one of the most important issues in PPH training. And now we have a 360 view of the cervix. Everything is intact. There's no need. Put the fist in, and you hold the uterus from upside and push it down. And by that you can get a feeling how hard it is to hold it for a long time in really severe PPH situations. And you can also simulate uterine contraction with this model. You have a little vacuum pump, and with the vacuum pump you can reduce the volume of the uterus very easily and put it on, and you can feel the fundus. And the fundus is going down, and it's going down, and it's going down. And the uterus, the same way, is getting from soft to hard. So it's also a different feeling. Very realistic, like in real obstetrics. And also you can reverse that effect by just letting air come back in.